Welcome back, everyone, to the Denver Sports Betting Show. I am your host, Taylor Sadusky. This segment is in special partnership with Fandom Nation, giving you the best insight to all things NBA, NCAA, college, everything you name it. But with that being said, I cannot do this show alone. I have a special guest alongside me. We have a Hype right next to me. Hype has done some amazing things with CU football, a visual genius. Can you elaborate more on what you do with the team and just give me some more insight to what your day-to-day life is?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, thank you first and foremost. Yeah, my name is Hype. Film director, executive producer. I've been involved with filming at games, filming key moments, interviewing players, and highlighting the culture ever since, Coach Primes came to Colorado.
Exactly. And you see the hoodie, too. He's repping for Juju Lewis, as we see here.
We got to rep the home team, so we got Juju.
Plug the merch a little bit, definitely. So last time we talked on this show, we interviewed Ron Taylor, the fitted Nuggets fan, who gave us all the insight into the Nuggets in the offseason, what they're going to do, and that was before they made big moves. As we know, recently they picked up Tim Hardaway. They shipped away MPJ, got Cam Johnson, you name it, big names coming to the Mile High City, and a chance for that championship, I will say, too, as well. So it's very exciting for the Denver natives, and we'll stay tuned for that, especially next show. But we got to switch gears today. As we know, the Buffs are back in action. We are less than 7 weeks out from college football coming back. I know I miss it. I don't know about you. You miss a little bit?
It's close. I miss it. It's been so long. It's been so long. We can only play college football 25, but so long. Mm-hmm. I'm ready for the real thing.
Exactly. And the new game comes out on the 7th, too, so we're just prepping, getting ready for that and whatnot. So good stuff here. So with switching gears, we got to talk about our Buffs in the NFL. We have Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. At least 16 to 17 Buffs have found a new home on the professional setting. So with that being said, let's check in on Cleveland. And we know Shedeur Sanders himself is on a QB hunt right now to either be a starter, to make the roster. They have 5 QBs, trying to nail it down to 3. Who are these 3 that you think will make it out and be contributors on this team?
I think when you look at the franchise quarterback, obviously by injury, I think he's automatically out of the fold on that. And I think if you find a way to move him, you save a lot of money for the franchise. So I think he might be eliminated, just, wins and losses there. I think the obvious answer, if we're talking about Cleveland and we're talking about changing culture entirely, it's Shedeur Sanders. I don't even think that's a question. I think we're talking about the best quarterback out of college, and we're seeing what's happening in the Browns mini camps, and we're seeing the numbers. He's got the best numbers. You got to let the best guy start. And then I think you have Dylan Gabriel come behind him. I think he's going to be a solid backup. And I think you keep Joe Flacco in the fold just so you have that veteran expertise. But I would assume that Cleveland is sending Flacco home and Kenny Pickett will be in that top 3.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a backup quarterback, hopefully to Shedeur Sanders. I think, like you said, he has a good chance for that starting role and to be very dynamic. But even off the field, too, he has indulged himself in the community, been a big role with the youth, and just really tried to cement himself into the culture. Because as we've seen before in the past, Johnny Manziel, he had a horrible stint in Cleveland, but amazing college run. And for Shedeur not to replicate that, what does it mean to not indulge yourself in the community, but just to pave a way off the field, too, do you think?
Well, I think that we have to stop the narrative that what Shedeur is doing right now in Cleveland is something new. For everyone who was in Mississippi at Jackson State, for everyone in Boulder and Colorado, what we know of Shedeur is that that's the norm. He does that all the time. That's one of the things that he does do in his free time and that he prides himself on is touching the youth, going to high schools. He practices and works out on high school fields, so he likes to stay tapped in with the community and give back. That's nothing new. But when we talk about changing culture, let's be honest, Cleveland's not the ideal landing destination in the NFL.
QB graveyard, as they say in the past.
We've seen what's happened with the best of the best talent, as you mentioned, Johnny Manziel, OBJ, Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. You could say that Cleveland is probably the worst destination to go. But when you look at a player like Shedeur Sanders, you say, this is actually the perfect fit. And we're not just saying that from a stylistic standpoint. We're not just saying that based on even what we saw in college. We're basing it off of the history of what he's done. And it's not always about the numbers and the performance on the field, even though he solidified and proven in that area. But we're looking at the places that he went. When you look at what he did at Jackson State and what that program was before he got there, and being able to go back-to-back SWAC championships, and then, he can't do it in the Power Four. And then he comes here and now, Johnny Unitas winner, best quarterback in college. So, and Colorado, let's just be honest, I love you, but Boulder was irrelevant. Nobody was going to Buffs games. They were
alumni,
empty. They were giving tickets away to get into Folsom. You could just walk in. Now it's like a Chris Brown concert ticket. So that's what Shedeur Sanders does for your franchise. That's what he does for your program. So on and off the field, you got a guy that's gonna be in the conversation for the best at his position. And you have to give him that room to develop and get those reps in there. But I really think it's going to be a smooth transition for him.
Definitely, exactly. And people forget, too, that even before he was at Jackson, he was being scouted by Alabama and Georgia. He was been on the map even after high school. So you can't talk about Shedeur Sanders without even mentioning his right-hand man, Travis Hunter. Found a new home with the Jacksonville Jaguars and replaced the quarterback that he knew all throughout college, Shedeur. How does that connection between Travis Hunter and Trevor Lawrence stack up? Because Trevor Lawrence going to Clemson, transitioning to Jacksonville, not so much success lately, but what can Travis Hunter do to emulate that connection he had with Shedeur now with Trevor?
I don't think that Travis needs to emulate that. I think that Trevor Lawrence and Shedeur Sanders are two different quarterbacks entirely. But what I do know is that Travis is an enhancer. And I think that that's what he's going to be for Trevor Lawrence. I think that when we look at Jacksonville, since Trevor's been with the Jags, he hasn't had those reliable receivers that he can really rely on and go to. Now he's got an all-star. I mean, we're talking about Travis is probably going to be all over the field. He might be starting on special teams day one. Like, anything is possible. What I love the most about this duo is that Jacksonville has bought all the way in on Travis playing both ways. This was one of the smartest moves out of the entire NFL draft, that they recognized that talent, they traded up for it, and they bought into him playing both sides, because that's where you're going to see the Jags go from irrelevance to what I'm going to put it out there now. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be the most exciting team in the NFL this upcoming season. What we just saw with the OKC Thunder in the NBA, just how fun they were to watch, almost that Golden State Warriors feel. That's what the Thunder brought back to the NBA, that fun, good basketball, and it's just the most fun team to watch. That's what the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be this season.
Yeah, and no one's going to see it coming. Like I said, I think you definitely hit the nail on the head with that. Let's transition real quick and take a quick break. We have to bring on our first sponsor, Amazing Gardner Roofing. Gardner Roofing, are you looking for a roofer that you can trust? It is Colorado's expert roofing team, family-owned and proudly serving the community since 1998. At Gardner Roofing, they don't just build roofs, they build relationships with unmatched craftsmanship, honest pricing, and a team that treats you just like family. It's really no wonder the customers keep coming back and bringing their friends and family with them. So if your roof needs a little bit of love, or you just want some advice you can trust, visit them at gardnerroofs.com or give them a call today at 303-332-6224. Our family has your family covered. But on the topic of amazing sponsors and contributors to this segment, we also got to get into some jewelry. I don't know about you, but I love some jewelry. I see you got some earrings and whatnot too as well.
Yeah, we got a little something under the hoodie.
Exactly, something always peeking out there. But we got to get into Nico Stones too as well, another great contributor. Like I said too, if you're looking to elevate your everyday style, Nico Stones designs timeless, versatile jewelry that stands out. Whether you're dressing it up or dressing it down, from bold rings to leather bracelets, there's something for every single vibe. So if you're feeling like it, go ahead and tap the link in the description for the whole collection. There's something for everyone. Just check it out, you guys. Believe me. We got to switch gears. As we know, Media Day is upon us. It was so exciting last year. Me and you attended that. We were in Vegas. We were having the time of our life. Shedeur Sanders.
Jerry Jones messed it up.
I know. Could you imagine if that would have worked out? But going on
Dallas is cool, though. Dallas is cool. We love the Star.
We love the Big D. Go to Dallas for sure. But with that being said, it has changed gears out to Frisco, Texas at the Star. Whole new landscape for the Buffs to see on this 18-team collaboration with the Big 12. So with that being said, what are the changes that you're seeing from this year to last year? I know Shedeur Sanders, so dynamic, so many big names, but now attending this media day, Caden Salter, Julian Lewis, so 2 quarterbacks are coming. We also have DJ McKinney and Alejandro Mata. So some big names going to be in attendance. What are they going to be able to provide to the media that says, hey, we're here and we're ready to play, do you think?
Honestly, if you remember last year in Vegas, 2 days, and it was the entire Big 12 conference split amongst these two days. And I don't know, you had to feel it, but it was almost like Colorado was the celebrity and every other team were the fans.
They flocked to Colorado.
It was, I mean, every reporter, every journalist, every media, including media of other teams, would surround the players that CU brought out to last media day. So I feel like even as competitive as it was last year, CU was the star of the show. I do expect that again, especially with recent developments with within the Big 12. I just think that the talent is there from a team perspective, but when we look at star power, when we look at entertainment, when we look at the moments that are going to go viral that everybody's checking for and getting the Twitter clicks, it's going to be surrounded by CU. And I also think that CU has one of the most interesting stories to bring to Media Day out of all of the conferences in terms of their quarterback situation. And then, I mean, you got Jordan Seaton, you got Mata, you know, you got guys that's coming to Media Day that's, you know, NFL ready. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a big day for CU.
No, definitely. I feel like even covering CU, it feels like you're covering an NFL team. You have so much NFL coaching experience. You have NFL given talent. DJ McKinney's going to be a top pick.
It's crazier. I know that you've been on the sidelines at NFL games. I don't know if there's anything like being on the sidelines out of CU games.
If anything, CU is like a different level compared to the NFL games.
It's a different. It's another level. It's another level. Coach Prime brings them out.
And that's the thing. He is the man behind the whole entire circus. He is delivering where it needs to be. But you mentioned Jordan Seaton too, how he is going from being a true freshman, delivering such amazing numbers and just being a pivotal role on offense. What is he going to do in more of a leadership role when he has all these young guns and like transfers coming in? How is he going to work this line into making dynamic this year for either Juju or Caden?
So I have a Jordan Seaton story.
Okay.
And I've never shared this story anywhere else. This was the spring game of last year. So this was Jordan's first spring game at CU. And it's raining, it's cold, the weather was terrible. And I mean, the excitement for Jordan coming on and being a part of the program, like it was through the roof, especially when you consider like the rollout and him going on FS1 Undisputed, announcing that he was coming to CU and then retracting that. And then we find out that he actually was coming with Bucky in the car in Miami, and that video going viral. So there was a lot of excitement. And I remember Jordan coming out, and the first few snaps, he didn't play that well, if we're being honest. And the way that he came back and when he was on the sidelines, the way that he took advice from the other players on the O-line. And I remember it was specifically Justin Mayers. And the leadership and the way he put his arm around him and talked to him. And then Jordan went out there and was a completely different player. And so that let me know that not only is he resilient, but he can also take feedback in real time and apply it and pivot and then go out on the field and do what needs to be done. So I know that he's already been around the kind of leadership that it takes, that you need to work in real time and already just permeate throughout the locker room. And I mean, Jordan is very like vocal, and he's a people's person. So he's the perfect person to have in position to be an extension of Coach Prime, when just showing people just how to get it done. And I think he's key when in terms of that that IMG pipeline too. Mm-hmm. Like he's going to be an important part. You will probably see Jordan at every media day until he's going to the NFL, mm-hmm. because he's just that important of a piece.
Very well spoken too for his age. He's just a young buck, but he's still out here like having the mentality of Coach Prime at his age too as well, almost like a Hall of Famer mentality, I would say. But this show couldn't be done alone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and having Hype here next to me. Thank you for your insight. He's honestly amazing. He's a filming genius, with that being said. So go ahead, give a shout out to where they can go ahead and follow you to keep up with you.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, hypedreams.co. You can follow me on Snapchat, hypedreamswc, Winner Circle. We got to represent. And just find out what's new.
Gotta love that. Again, this has been
tuned.
Thank you so much again, Hype. Again, this has been the Denver Sports Betting Show. Shout out to Fan Day Nation again for the partnership, and we will catch you guys next time.